Hello everyone, welcome to the part 2 of this month's Bustle Month. Today I'm going to be talking about how to integrate 2 bustles into one whole look. This is a great thing to do if you are trying to match a specific character's colors. So for example, say, the character I'm working on has purple and silver and you happen to have a purple bustle and a silver bustle in your closet. Or you have a black one and a red one and you want to make a red and black outfit. So it's a nice thing to do, especially I know that there are some of you out there who are collectors and you love getting bustles and are sorely tempted when you see me at the Dickens Christmas Fair. So this is a nice way that you can integrate some of the colors together if you have more than one Blue Moon bustle. So first thing to do is put them on, and I'm gonna go ahead and tie on this one. So this is going to be on the bottom, so a little bit less of the bottom one will be shown just because, hey, it's on the bottom, it's underneath. And I'm going to put all these things on the front of my body for right now, just so that you can see kind of what I'm doing, and I can also see what I'm doing. So we're going to put the purple one on top. And before I do, I want to talk a little bit about the structure of the bustle, because that becomes important. So what goes on the underlayer? There is a tulle netting underlayer. And so the reason I'm showing it to you like this is so that when I talk about how to get it out of the way, you understand what's going on. So, because in order to reach in and grab from the second bustle, you're going to have to get that tulle underlayer up out of the way to begin with, which is a lot easier to do when this whole operation is on the front of you. And you can sort of do it in the mirror as well. Watch yourself pulling the layers out and see if the look is what you want. So for the most part, my bustles they're set up so that the bottommost layer of fabric, so for instance, in this case, it's this long piece of taffeta, is accessible from the center back of the bustle. So you want to find yourself the center and kind of pull the upper fabrics away to the side. This gives you access to that tulle underlayer that I was talking about, which you can see here. And I'm going to just sort of tug it gently and sort of scrickle it with my, run it with my fingers and pull it up out of the way. And once I do that, now you can start to see there's silver available. So then what I do is I try to line the two things up, and I start pulling out some of the silver layers. So I'm going to get some organza, that's the topmost layer. And I'm going to get some of the really cool flocked taffeta. Just kind of pull, don't be afraid to start pulling these two things together. Because in essence, what you're doing is you're kind of shuffling them like if you have two different decks of cards, you're sort of shuffling the 2 decks of cards together. And they're different colors, so you can always sort them out later. It's actually a little easier to sort out bustles than it is to sort out decks of cards. But yeah, so you see, I start to have some of these things available. And I'm actually going, I have these giant flukes here. And I kind of want to do the same thing over here on the other side, maybe. I'm going to grab some other pieces of silver fabric that I want, just so that it's a little more integrated across the board. Like maybe I pull some of this dupioni to the side. And the same thing over here. Grab some more of this dupioni. Oh, there's a piece there. I wonder if there's a piece over here. They're usually pretty symmetrical because that's how I roll. Oh yeah, there's that piece. So, if you find something on one side, you'll usually find it on the other side. So, for instance, like this piece of taffeta. And so if you're seeing something happening on one side and you're like, oh, I like that, I want it on the other side, you'll probably be able to find a piece of fabric if you make sure that things are kind of balanced. But yeah, so you start to see, how these different layers can kind of play together, and you can shape them, and you can see, if you do this in front of a mirror, you can see what's going on in the mirror and say like, okay, do I like the way this looks, or do I kind of want to work with it a little more? It's almost like, curling your hair. Like you look at the overall thing and you say, okay, I like this, oh, but I need to fix this part, and I need to fix this part, and it's kind of getting a sense of the overall picture. I am actually going to tuck this tulle back into the bustle and use it to build up the volume here, because I don't really like the look of the tulle on the outside. but I do like the shaping that it provides. So now you can see I start to have that like fluffy kind of farthingale look that really does this make my butt look big enough action. And once I'm all happy with how this all looks and I'm totally thrilled with everything and I'm ready to make that fluff a little more fluffy. Okay, so I'm real happy with how this turned out and I'm all done. So now I'm gonna put it where it belongs on my backside. And sometimes I also learned a great trick recently, which is tying on the side. Because sometimes, you know, who doesn't want a bow like right in the middle of your tum-tum? I actually have discovered that if you're wearing it tied, it looks pretty snazzy if you tie to the side and then you have like one long ribbon. So that way you avoid that big bow right in the front of your body. You can tie it right on the side, right where the fabric, right where the ribbon sort of ends, or the fabric begins, and that kind of integrates it into the whole look of the back part of the bustle. So that is how you can take two bustles and integrate them into one look. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm happy to share this information with you, and have a wonderful day.